Hello, Namaskar and good evening. Welcome to NCERT's live interactive session. This is Simran Singh. And viewers, you are all watching us on PM eVidya channel number 6 to 12. You can also connect with us to our YouTube channel that you all know, it's NCERT official. So it's around 4 p.m. on your watch, and regularly from 4 to 5 p.m. we come up with our special sessions for all our viewers to enhance your understanding about diverse fields and diverse subjects. So it's Friday, 1st of July, and from quite some time it has been put in public view that the first Wednesday of every month will be observed as Cyber Jaagrookta Diwas. Well, we are celebrating the first Wednesday of every month as Cyber Jaagrookta Diwas, basically to create awareness about cyber safety and security among students, teachers, educational institutes and all the stakeholders, along with all the viewers who are watching these particular session with us. Well, I would also like to inform you that cyber security remains an important aspect in each and every one of our lives, because it is about our personal data. It is about our personal information, whether it's the information related to our intellectual property or the information related to our bank accounts. So it is our responsibility to take care and understand this particular concept, that is cyber security. Throughout our live interactive session, if you have any of the queries, then feel free to write down to us at this mail ID that is flashing on your screens. It is cybersafety@ciet.nic.in. Besides, here is a contact number that is also flashing on your screens. So you may also give us a call at 8800-440-559. As you all know, the Ministry of Home Affairs has implemented a scheme that is called the Indian Cybercrime Coordination Center to deal with cyber crimes in a coordinated and comprehensive manner. And after this particular session, it's our first day. We'll also be following sessions on training for all our viewers. Well, the training program has been made for our viewers to inculcate the internet ethics, cyber hygiene, understanding information security, and follow secure practices in the digital world. And at the end of these particular sessions, participants should be able to understand policy recommendations on information security in the light of NEP 2020. Followed by that, understanding critical characteristics of information security and combating cyber attacks. Also understanding about cyber security in schools for students, teachers and parents during online learning, online interactions and all the sessions that we have been conducting from quite some time through the online modality. Then ensuring desktop, laptop, browser and Wi-Fi security and understanding the digital footprint. Also understanding the concept of social engineering techniques and its preventive measures. As we all know that prevention is better than cure. And also towards the end of this particular session, we'll also inform you about our quiz link that we release from our training sessions itself. So a lot of viewers ask us that how do we form those questions? So once you watch all our training sessions, you'll be easily able to answer those questions. Well, we'll inform you more about that towards the end. So stay connected with us. For this particular year, in the month of July, our broader theme is Stay Safe in the Cyber World. And the topic that we are going to discuss today under this broader theme is Cyber Safety in the light of NEP 2020. We are in collaboration with ICEA, ISEA, SIDAG and Hyderabad. And we are joined by two experts with us who will throw more light on this session. We have with us Dr. Angel. Namaskar, ma'am.
Namaskar.
Ma'am is Assistant Professor from CIET NCERT. We are also joined by another reputed guest. We have with us Shri Chasmurthy sir. Namaste sir. Welcome to NCERT. Sir is an Associate Director at Center for Development of Advanced Computing from Hyderabad and National Coordinator Information Security Education and Awareness, PMU. Under his guidance, Information Security Education Awareness Project, an initiative under the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, won NASSCOM DSCI Excellence Awards 2019, that is Special Jury Recognition, for its concerted efforts in raising information security awareness and creating extraordinary mass outreach. It's a pleasure to have you here with us, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to thank CIET and NCERT to conduct this training for teachers on these 5 days, next 5 days for continuous professional development on online training on cyber security and cyber safety. The objective of the training program is to inculcate the internet ethics, cyber hygiene, understanding information security, and the follow secure practices in the digital world. So as being we are celebrating National Cybersecurity Awareness Month, uh, this kind of training program is very appreciable from the CIT and NCRT. And so because of this, whatever the training program which we are saying that cyber safety and cyber security, when it is coming to the, so there is a slightly difference between cyber safety and cyber security. When we are securing the devices, so when securing our information, what kind of methodologies we use, that is generally called as a cyber security. But however, the practices which we do for securing our information, our as in a personal point of view, so we generally call as a cyber safety. And understanding these both terms are very important while we are going for such kind of training, because cyber safety is basically related to a personal point of view. When it is coming to the cyber security, it is a kind of devices, antiviruses, desktop firewalls, such kind of products and solutions which we are considering as part of the practice is generally termed as a cyber security. So all we being generally playing in two roles. Am I right? So one role is basically our duties, whatever we are part of our regular works at offices, and second part is the personal. So personal means it's the same internet thing. We use it at office and we use it even as a home, as a personal use purposes. So there is no difference actually if you look into that. So both are common with respect to the information. The information which might be you are having at your place, and that means as a personal point of view at home, and the information of organization. So both are, when the common point if you are looking at the information only. But the organization point of view, you may have some kind of support from organization to secure about your information with respect to the organization. But when it is coming to the personal point of view, you need to secure yourself at your home. Am I right? So that's why, so the cyber security practices are very much important for any individual. But however, why this training program is required for teachers, that we will discuss soon. But before that, I would like to tell some of the things which are happening at this moment. Today, we can surely say that the India is among us the top 2 countries globally on many dimensions of digital adoption. So whatever the way that government is encouraging to move from the traditional to digital world, so we are becoming as faster, even though in the global competition in adoption of the digital things in our life. So it is almost estimating by 2022 a kind of a 1 trillion economy of business, digital economy we may be target. That means every activity, every traditional activity is slowly moving. We cannot say slowly, so it's as much as faster. It is moving from traditional to digital. So entire tomorrow world, we are part of digital. So it is our responsibility while adopting this particular digital kind of world. So we need to be aware as much as, because as many as problems, as many as vulnerabilities exist in this digital world, which we can discuss in the soon. So if coming to the history, or an estimated number of 600, so by the time this time itself, there are 900 million users are with mobiles. But however, 600 million users are majorly using a smart mobile. So when you are using smart mobile means you are almost 99% you are part of digital world, because you are able to manage some of the things through your mobile itself. So it is estimated a kind of 60 crore users, internet users through smart mobiles in India, and it's considered to be the second largest online market in the world. So every global market, every global brand is looking our Indian market, so they try to get into some kind of business in this. While they can try to do this business, They may collect a lot of our personal information. So a majority of them access internet through these mobile phones, and freely we may give a lot of information by ourselves with knowingly or unknowingly. So that is where we need to be aware and knowing about the things of how it happens that internet accesses. So while even if you look at while greater internet connectivity via the world wide where promises a large-scale progress. If you go back 10 years back, if you look about that, sending an email itself is a costly affair for us. Calling somebody in the US, calling somebody in the UK or Australia, it is a kind of some kind of like for a minute we used to pay 60 rupees, 90 rupees. But it's not like that because of the transformation of the digital thing. We are able to talk to anybody anywhere in this global network. So that with also, if you compare with the prices of anywhere in this world, the Indian broadband charges our internet charges are very lesser when compared to anywhere in this world. But along with that, so because when we are moving to the digitally as much as faster, that related to threats, attacks are also increased as much as fast as the internet is growing. So recently, according to the NCRP, the National Crime Records Bureau report, the number of cyber crimes across the states in India and more than doubled since 2017. So it's almost, even it's only the reported crimes. So from 22,000 to almost 45,000. But actually there are many numbers, it's only reported numbers. By 2019, it's almost within 2 years it's doubled. And of course now 21, because of the pandemic situation, it is 4 times of that what 2017 we have. So the nature of these crimes are listed out by NCRP, mainly publication or transmission of obscene, sexual, explicit act in electronic form, publishing or transmitting material upsetting children in sexually explicit, cyber stalking, bullying of women, bullying of children, defamation, mock faking, fake profiles, cyber blackmailing, and even some kind of threatening, cyber threatening, etc., are part of major crimes when you are considering this NCRB related activity as per the NCRB report. In this kind of scenario, it is evident that every digital native is prone to cyber attack. So they are used to attack an organization that rather than attacking an organization, now they are moving to the individuals who are working in an organization or who is having a lot of, you can say that the personal attacks are increasing because adding up 10 rupees, getting a 10 rupees from 1 crore people is the 10 crore people rather than hitting in a psycho-secured organization for 10 crore rupees. So that simple concept they were taking so that they were trying to attack. Even though they wanted to attack an organization, that employees are the target. The behavior of internet, how they tracking is very important for them to track your organization also. So, but however, if you look about that, everybody is prone to cyber attacks, but especially children and youngsters who are among the most vulnerable groups need to be made aware about the possible cyber threats and the ways to safeguard themselves against them, and also about the importance of hygiene, of hygienic use of the digital devices for security and safety. That is where we need to target. Even if you look about the NCRB report, the more on children and more on women, and lesser attacks on defamation, fake profile and cyber attacks. Of course, some of these fake profile attacks also on children and women are more. So we need to concentrate for giving an awareness on children and women majorly. So why we need to this is important for the teachers, because you know our teachers who actually play an important role in our life. They play as a friendship with the students, and they may be philosophers They act as a philosopher, and they act as a guide, they act as a mentor, so that they play a very important, vital role in this aspect, and also themselves to be aware of these threats and safe practices, so that it can be transformed to very easily to children and to children, to their parents. So that is where these trainings are implementing. If you look about that, what kind of offences the children face at this present scenario, if you are looking with the NCRP, as we already discussed, 60 crore people are in India, they are using internet today. And as the usage of internet has increased, so have the cyber crimes of in India also. And recently, Minister of Home Affairs has mentioned that around 93,000 cybercrime cases of hate, sexual exploitation were registered throughout the country between 2019 to 2021. It motivates include personal revenge, fraud, sexual exploitation, incite hate, etc. Accordingly, children are exposed to cyber threats like online grooming, child pornography, cyberbullying, etc. So online grooming is one of the process of befriending and establishing an emotional connect in slow, methodologically, and intentional process of manipulating a person to a point where they can be sexually victimized by the online predator. And not only that, because of the increase of the using of these devices as part of the pandemic online classes, so even though we observed that a lot of students are deviating from the actual classes to some kind of an internet messengers discussions. They are not able to concentrate continuously 4 hours or 5 hours of the classes in a day. They are moving to other acts like they are into internet, other activities like going to movies, friend groups. They are participating into the various social networking groups, etc. So these are because of this movement from the actual space to their internet space. So what happening? These online grooming things are going on. And of course, cyberbullying, bullying is always be there, physical bullying or whatever. So when the people are moved from the physically to online classes, the cyberbullying cases also increase. And nowadays, to take a personal revenge and etc., the morphing things, see, because the number of the particular pandemic time and last 2 years. So these are the morphing cases are also increased. So we are thinking that this is one could be the reason because their participation increasing through online process, etc., and making befriending among the groups, participating the groups. Even yesterday, one of the fourth class student came and asking about my kid who is studying in 10th class, saying that share the email. Fourth class student is asking a 10th class student and they wanted to be part of a kind of a group, they wanted to play games. So that is where the internet is growing. So that's what we need to look about, concentrate on these things. On another side, the online child pornography. Even the government is trying its best to control this child pornography, but however, due to some technological issues, even the blocking of some kind of URLs, turning into other URLs, they are coming as a different URL by changing one or two letters. So that is where continuous process and blocking every site is not difficult, very difficult for the government also. But being the part of this country, we need to do also. So these are what could be the effects of these online crimes on women and children. That basically creates a kind of a mental distress, emotional trauma. You see, it's not we are talking about everybody, but who are part of this particular pandemic, even though continuously staying at home, continuously staying on internet, So it is also creating some kind of mental distress, emotional trauma. Maybe it can go further to physical trauma also. And of course, because of the number of attacks are happening because of the vulnerabilities which we are accessing internet, there could be a monetary loss also, and even the humiliation. These are the kind of attacks that are happening at this moment. So, what kind of practice that make digital user prone to the cyber attacks in online environment that should be avoided at this moment? So, basically, the attacks are increasing with respect to as a personal, like those who are doing a financial transaction. When it is coming to that, the OTPs and the pins are very important. See, the OTPs, pins are the things which were given to us as a part of the multi-factor authentication. That means we have a password, but the OTP is the second factor to apply to confirm the transaction. But however, that the fraudsters are brilliantly befriending with us, and they were acting as like, and they are helping us and taking these OTPs. So that is one way is as part of the social engineering, and the other way is basically technological things. So we need to understand these things, how it is happening, and how we can avoid it. Of course, sharing the personal information. Let's say if I'm going on tour, I'm traveling from Hyderabad to Delhi, so that it is as an information. This information can be utilized in different purposes also. So that is where we need to be controlled information, our information as much as with us only, not posting everything on that. See, but it is incidentally what happening now while you are joining this particular social networking sites, we are not setting the right way that what need to be shared and what not to be shared. So that is where sometimes what happens, even though we are forgetting to control while we are traveling. So that's what this information is simply passing out of that particular social networking itself. So it is telling about our information. That's what we need to understand, the controlling our information in the social networking sites also. And sharing the location with members on social media platforms. If you are moving, things are known by somebody, so it is easy to understand your vulnerabilities by them. So that's what we need to always control our location, sharing about the location by stopping the GPS applications and updating about the whereabouts in the social media platform. I always suggest that you always make yourself post if you want.
Yeah, sir. Sir, could you hear us?
Yeah. So after returning back only you post
yeah, sir. Yeah.
pictures and post on online. So that is to control some of the things to avoid sharing the information. So these are some of the tips. That's what we explained to about that. Teachers are the right people who can take this program to, like, who are target, whom we are trying to aware, like children, even the parents. But this planning would be helpful, very much help, and we appreciate T and NCRT for making such kind of opportunity and meeting the teacher. Thank you very much for giving opportunity. So thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing these minute details with us. Now, I would like to ask Dr. Angel, as we are discussing about cyber safety in the light of NEP. So, ma'am, my question to you is, how does NEP 2020 talks about being cyber safe in this world?
Yeah. Thank you so much. I was listening to the previous speaker giving a complete detail of being being safe in the cyber world. As such, NEP 2020 directly don't point out the word as cyber safety or security, but it speaks holistically as a school safety itself, because the school safety includes cyber safety as one of the essential component. So when we read the NEP 2020, it's very clear that from the starting till ending, it talks about various aspects of having a safer environment in the school. So now schools are part and parcel of this cyber world. Like schools are not just within that four walls, and now it is online classes are happening even after COVID pandemic. When the normal school system is going to start, we are going to have this impact of this online education or the digital education in the physical classroom as well. And all our students are somehow or in some way they are connected to the cyber world. Even if there is the teachers are not going to use any online class, students by themselves have started using the online system. It's not about class. Even every small children, like 4-year child is given the mobile to watch some videos. The child watches video in YouTube. It's nothing about just school alone. It is cyber safety is just not within the component of school, but it is just beyond that. So when NEP talks about school safety, it is not just within the school campus, but it talks about how the community involvement is there, where like when we come to a community, when this child goes outside the school as well, a safer environment has to be provided for the student. And it is also a responsibility of the parent to give a better home environment where there is a concern of the cyber safety is taken care, and all the devices in the houses are made secure for a child to use for the education purpose. So when we talk in the light of NEP, we understand that cyber safety and security being part of school safety, it's one of the major aspects which is proposed in the NEP itself.
Very rightly said, and as you just explained that schools are no more confined to the four walls of a classroom, and we can see that there has been a digital shift during such trying situations like COVID-19. So ma'am, here comes an important issue, like when we talk about the online form of education, there are certain safety concerns. So how does NEP 2020 address this concern, or is there any strategy that has been depicted for this?
Okay. As such, if we see, the policy doesn't specify every strategies that has to be implemented. That is where there is a lot of focus paper that is prepared, and then curriculum framework is developed, and then the content, whatever the essential things which is pointed out in NEP is brought into a strategy in the form of content and activities through the textbooks and through other materials, resources which is given in the school system. So in that manner, if we see whatever essential components we talk under cyber safety and security, whatever strategies the school has to follow, whatever activities a school can conduct in the school has been described in various guidelines that is given by the government and as well as organizations like NCERT as well as CDAC. So it's very important that not just to take the line from NEP, but we also should get into every stakeholder to understand what kind of activities we can keep doing it. NEP also points out that there should be capacity building programs, which is an essential part of in-service teachers training, in-service teachers' life, as 50 hours of capacity building program. So this is one training, the training which is happening for this 5 days is also part of it. So that's one of the strategies, like first of all the awareness has to be created among the teachers. So for that there should be capacity building programs. So this 5 days online program is one of the strategy we are using for it. Similarly, NEP talks about various resources should be used to bring this generic concerns into the system. That is where a lot of e-content is developed. Digital resources are developed related to the cyber safety and security, and it is being disseminated. NEP also points out to conducting various activities in general to bring all the generic concerns, which cyber safety is one among that. So that is where there are a lot of activities happening. Like if you see, every month the first Wednesday is celebrated as Jaagrookta Diwas. And as part of it, there is quiz conducted, there is a lot of competitions being conducted. So these are all these strategies that are derived from NEP to create the awareness in cyber safety and security.
Apart from this, ma'am, could there be some another strategies at the school level particularly that principals or the school heads can undertake to ensure cyber safety for students?
Yeah. Surely, how much ever there are a lot of guidelines, but to reach the child, the only path is to whomever the child is interacting, they need to take this awareness to the children. Though there are several national programs going on, but still the role of teacher and the school and parents and the community or neighborhood plays a very important role in creating this awareness among children, as well as it's always, we think as adults, we think always children have to get the awareness, but the reality is many times as teachers we need to have that awareness. Right now students are better than teachers. Sometimes teachers are not aware what exactly I have to do when things goes wrong, or somewhere we have got affected, or somewhere we have got attacked, like some attack we are facing. So it's not always awareness about students, it is always awareness of everyone involved in the whole process. For example, I could just state one of the scenario we recently faced. We had a group, WhatsApp group, a Telegram group. We had more than 5,000, 6,000 users in a group where we were using to disseminate information. So our group was hacked. So the moment the group was hacked, we were all, the administrators were removed from the group. But it was, though many of them who are attending our sessions are part of the group, immediately the way the conversation is happening in the group, the people in the group were not able to make out that the group is hacked. But some of them were immediately able to identify the way messages are coming is not, it is not in the right manner, so something has gone wrong. So the awareness the people have got already through some programs help them to immediately walk out of the room. So similarly, there is experienced teachers then, so these experiences has to be shared among teachers, it has to be shared with students so that they learn from each other. So these are some of the experience sharing session that has to be conducted regularly in the school. It cannot be done in a very rigid manner as in assembly that we talk every day 10 minutes. Most of the time in assembly students will be sleeping and they don't listen to it, right? So it has to be given to the children in an innovative way. There are a lot of in the school there are clubs. There are clubs called as cyber clubs which are there where students themselves meet every week and under the guidance of a teacher, they share their experiences and they also ask questions what they have heard. Sometimes the teacher brings newspaper and then tell them, okay, now let's take all these as case studies and let's have a discussion. So if we can plan certain activities like this in the classroom so that the students interact with the content and also discuss from the experiences and the actual situation, rather than giving lectures, because nowadays lectures is full of content and the content is already available in web. There is no need for training sessions at all. Any child goes to web and then searches, they'll be able to get the content. So the reality is something that we need to bring to the classroom. So there is a need for teachers to create some scenarios where they are able to interact with the students, the real cases, and then discuss. The other approach every teacher or the students the school can follow is to have an integrated approach. Many times we do, like today we have a session on cyber safety. So students are not so so much excited about it. They'll say like, okay, 5 things are there, let this be another sixth idea. So in that case, whenever a teacher is talking about in the classroom, when they talk about even pollution, they should talk about what is e-waste. Whenever they talk about how to, in social, like even in EVS class, when they talk to students about how we should behave, how we should act, like we are teaching class 1 child, there is a story in English NCERT book, there is a story called 3 Pigs. So in that English book, they talk about how we need to love each other, how we need to respect each other. Even when that kind of lesson is being taken in English class, there is a need to tell that it's not just respecting each other in the physical world, but also in the digital world.
Space,
yeah. So this kind of an integrated approach will make the child feel that it's not something different that we are learning about cyber safety. It's part and parcel of our life. So such activities can be taken up at the school level. by the teachers, and it's very important for the administrators to also take care of bringing this awareness among the teachers itself. So whenever there is such online training programs, if school can conduct themselves, it's very good, or even if not, they can also depute teachers or inform teachers about the programs that's happening. And there is a dedicated website which ISCA CDAC is having for having all the resources related to cyber safety practices. So those websites can be referred by, because they have a lot of activities, because within this 1 hour we cannot list all the activities. So the resources have been developed, what kind of activities can be conducted, and those resources are made available in the website that can also be accessed by the teachers and administrators for creating the awareness.
I'm sure this information would be very helpful for our viewers, and also the kind of activities that ma'am just discussed about. I think this could just enhance the creativity and boost and empower the enthusiasm within the classrooms. And ma'am, besides this, there's a general concern. Nowadays we have longer hours on the screen, or our screen time has increased in our day-to-day lives. Basically you can say that it's the digital space, maybe that's why, or maybe due to online mode of education, whatever the reason seems right here. But at the same time, it offers some of the health concerns, not only for the youngsters but also people of different age, maybe adults, adolescents as well. So ma'am, what would you suggest in regards to economics for this?
Yeah. This is a very important concern, and already Mr. Murthy has already brought up a lot of things about what could be the psychological as well as emotional impact that this cyber exposure to cyberspace can create. It also affects physically, we are all aware of it, but we cannot run out of it. That's how the situation is. So what simple things we do, like whatever we practice, I think I can share here. Because earlier days, like nowadays there is a lot of online sessions which is for 1.5 hours continuously. So we tell them, like after 15-20 minutes, we tell them to stop. We stop the session in between and tell them to just do a kind of stretching exercises or kind of a blinking activities. Earlier I was working in one of the corporate company, like we were, like how the IT companies work, and you will be like attached to the system for 8 hours.
Yeah.
The best practice which I have seen is the system automatically is set up that like every 1 hour it will have, like the system will automatically go to the sleeping mode.
Yeah.
And there will be a blinking icon which comes. So it states that now it's 1 hour, just blink your eyes. So after 2 hours it will just again icon will come and say just stretch your leg. It's all very, very simple thing, but it has a very great impact on our health. So these are some of the things even the teachers can practice. Like primary classes also nowadays, they are keeping continuously class for 1 hour. Like in the last week I was just observing my cousin's child attending the class. She was having 1 hour continuous class, and she was switching off the video mode and the audio mode, and she started chatting with us. So I was telling, you are an online class, you should attend. So she said, how long we will attend, it's boring, I should speak in between, otherwise I will not have concentration. Then she started jumping, so she automatically switches off the video. So rather than that, if the teachers itself can plan physical activities in between the online classes, may not be a great activity, it is just raise up and read out your book, just swing your hand, simple things. This may not be very applicable to adolescent, it will become so funny in the classroom, but teachers know how to handle their own children. Its only thing is right now after going online, we have forgotten that it's completely online, so we have forgotten that we have to engage them physically. Otherwise teachers are well aware how to keep the attention of the teachers, students. So only thing we need to tell to ourselves now, if we can apply whatever we do in our physical classroom, whatever we take care in the physical classroom, in the digital world also our physical health can be retained. And with respect to screen time, we really need to take care of it. Many schools, like there is a suggestion of how much hours of screen time can be exposed to what age of children, and also for the adults. We have given that in the Pragyata guideline, which is for guideline for digital education, and we have seen now a lot of schools are implementing that. Like not earlier, it was like continuously classes were there. Now they are giving sufficient breaks in between, but it's very important to engage the children in physical activities to really take care of the health. So consciously the schools have to plan some activities. Otherwise they had at least games period. Now there is no games period, there is no sports during this online activities, but we have seen some schools doing games period in the online, like doing yoga online during the online class. They don't really keep their eyes watching there, but all are doing, so it's only happiness to see everyone doing at a time yoga. So there are some like instead of shifting completely to virtual games, they were also telling them some kind of a games where they can play with kids around sitting there together. Even adolescents were asked to discuss with parents and get back, or to discuss with kind of neighborhood and get back, or discuss with the family members and get back. So such activities can be planned to reduce screen timing. And nowadays some of the schools are implementing flipped classrooms, where they are telling more to observe, discuss in the physical part in the evening. When they come to online class, they focus more on the online discussion mode, where a child can even put only hear and then walk and then listen. Only thing, in the name of disciplining, if we don't restrict children, sit straight in the online class, keep all the time video on and look directly to the screen, we have to plan ourselves that we need to give that comfort for the child, so that there is no, we can reduce, surely there is an impact, but at least we can reduce the impact on physical health, so that the children will regain back and come back to the school.
Sure, I think, and the school environment has to be a bit flexible, because in the changing scenario, there's a lot of shifts that we are witnessing, and especially during COVID-19, there's a major shift in the education system of students. So I think the activities that have been suggested by ma'am might seem very basic, but at least we can start from that.
Nowadays, one hour classroom, people don't drink water in that 1 hour.
Yeah.
But we know that when we are sitting just before the screen, there is a lot of heat which is coming out. It is simple thing. We are starting with very simple activities, but it really makes a lot of impact on the physical health of a child.
Yeah, sure, and I hope our viewers will keep that in mind. Now again, I would request Mr. Murthy to step in the conversation. Sir, as you just presented the data regarding the internet users in the country, and also the risk of cyber safety that we encounter today. So sir, our question is, what is the data governance strategy of the nation with regard to cyber safety risk?
Yeah. When it is coming to the data security, you see that majorly now we are facing about inappropriate content in the internet. See, because the people are moving to digital world, but people moving out to the internet, many people, but the content they are posting, whether the content is the appropriate content or not appropriate content, that is where we need to look about that. So that is one thing. And second, because most of the people, even if you look about that, some YouTube title would be different when you go to the YouTube channel inside, that the video is entirely different. So the content, the students, when they are accessing such kind of data, so whether they need to know about that, whether it is appropriate or not appropriate, that is the first thing. Then when coming to the second point, the security, so when you are sharing the information, when you are sharing the data across the internet, the major worry is about the security. So because recently it is whatever that the government of India is introducing about data privacy bill, so that helps a lot to the data security also. However, along with the cyber security, when you are considering with respect to data, the strategies which we implement with respect to the data, this privacy bill also tells about that the containment of the data. Of course, if an organization collecting, a social networking organization collecting your data, So how to secure, how to protect the data is also a very important aspect. So in this, so that is where we need to look about that. This data privacy bill helps a lot for the security of the data. And third, second thing is that, see, even when you are posting some kind of information, we need to have some kind of responsibility and a kind of appropriate data we need to post it. Along with that, securing our personal information. So there are so many ways are there, so many tips are available. Maybe this next 4 days, this data security also they will discuss, and they can know more things about the data security.
Yeah, sir, thank you so much for enlightening us about such important detail. And also, sir, we have another important question. As we all know that emails or maybe the instant messaging is a kind of source that is often used for instant messaging or to depict any kind of information that is really urgent. So are messages or emails safe in the cyber world?
Yes, it is. That's what we need to look about that when you are sharing this information. So we need to follow that what kind of information we are sharing. See, because everybody needs to follow their own policy. When we are looking about the organization and we are trying to establish as part of the standards and compliances, organization must have established a kind of a policy with respect to their products, their components. In the same way, we insist for every person, because persons are more target at this moment as an individual targets if you are looking about that. So that we insist that every person should have a kind of a policy by themselves, what kind of data they can share in this instant message. Even though you can say that it is an urgent basis, you are sharing email, but there are methodologies. That's what we need to learn, this cybersecurity kind of solutions, adapting the solutions. Like if you are sending an email, you can use a kind of an encrypted email communication. And if you are sending a WhatsApp message or instant message, we have a variety of kind of solutions are there to secure our data, personal information. So they are something kind of an end-to-end encryption also. Let's say take example, when you are sharing end-to-end, sharing a message in WhatsApp or Telegram, they are saying about end-to-end encryption. So end-to-end encryption means here is the data when moving from your mobile to other mobile is only encrypted. But at data at rest, that means the data at your mobile or data after moving or after whomever recipient and after receiving, the data is stayed at that mobile is not secure. Even when you are taking back.
So this is all the important information that you all have received under this broader topic, that is cyber safety in the light of NEP, that is National Education Policy 2020. As we all know that today we are observing it as Cyber Jaagrookta Diwas, and for July 2022, as I just informed in the beginning of this session, the theme for this month is Stay Safe in the Cyber World. So here we also have a schedule where we have our detailed sessions and the information for all the viewers. You can have a look at your screens, and this is the detailed chart of the schedule. So for 1st of July 2022, that is today, our broad topic was cyber safety in light of NEP 2020. Then our next session is to be conducted on 6th of July, that is Wednesday, and we will discuss data security and digital footprints. Followed by that, we have a session on 8th of July with a broader topic, that is ensuring cyber security in schools. Then on 15th of July, that is again Friday, the topic would be social engineering techniques and its preventive measures. Then on 22nd July, that is the next Friday, that is the last Friday when we are going to conduct this training session for you. Our topic is cyber hygiene practices for online learning. Well, the objective of this training program is to inculcate the internet ethics, cyber hygiene, understanding, information security, and follow secure practices in this digital world. So once we conclude our 5 days online training, we also have our quiz. Now you can access our quiz, just have a look at the screen. All you have to do is, first of all, you have to click on CIT. That is the website, that is www.cit.nic.in. So quickly you will land on this particular page. Here you can see numerous options over here. So it is first, second, third, fourth, fifth and sixth option from here. It says events, and under events it's the third last option that you have to just click on. It's workshop/training. Now here you can get all the information about the online training sessions that are being conducted by CIT NCERT to promote your use of technology in the process of teaching and learning. So you can see over your screen there are three kinds of activities that are currently seen. These are the current activity, upcoming activity and the completed activity. And here under current activity you could see that on 28th June we have the online training on game-based learning. Then just providing you a side or a view of Cyber Jaagrookta Diwas series. Here you can get all the information about Cyber Jaagrookta Diwas series, the objectives. Now the best part is that you all can participate in the quiz link. Teachers, students, teacher educators, parents, administrators, general public. You all can be a part of our sessions. If you wish to rewatch our sessions, then this is the page, the program schedule, where we upload all our sessions. Now how you all can participate in the quiz. So there are certain steps that you need to follow and they are flashed on your screens. The first one says the registration. You can register yourself by clicking on this link or scanning the QR code. You can watch all our live training sessions on NCERT Official, that is our YouTube channel. It is also running on PM eVidya channel number 6 to 12. Then step 3, of course, it's participation in post-session activity and certification. You'll also receive a certificate for this, and the quiz link will be uploaded when we are done with all our sessions. Then the fourth step says you can submit your feedback, and also for any queries, here is the mail ID that is flashing on your screens. It is cybersafety@ciet.nic.in. And also a contact number has been placed on your screens. You can explore more about our website. Our contact number is 8800-440-559. So this is an end to this particular session where we were discussing about cyber safety in the light of NEP 2020. But stay connected to NCERT because our upcoming session is Sahyog and our topic is preventive measures for the teenagers from abusive environment. We'll be right back within few minutes. Till then, stay connected to us and stay safe in the cyber world. Namaskar.